What's up? Can you hear me, guys?
Yeah.
Perfect. So how was your week? How was your week as far as your real estate business, man? I know you're full time somewhere else.
Yeah, well, believe it or not, because I get off at like 4. And I've been like dealing with truck issues literally since Saturday. So nothing really. I just some calls on an ad that I have going right now for a cash deal. But honestly, I think I have that one a little too high. So I'm gonna contact her, renegotiate. But as far as calls goes, dude, this week has been horrible for me. So, but it's like one of those things, man. It's like I gotta get the truck fixed, otherwise I can't work. And you know, daylight's leaving. It sucks.
What I recommend for you, man, since I know that I think for you time is one of the things that you might not have to spare.
Yeah.
What I recommend, there's a service called it's cheap. It's like I think it's like 3 cents. Slide broadcast. Have you heard about that?
No.
Broadcast. So basically, since you don't have the time to be able to doing the outbound marketing, as far as waiting for it to reply, what I would do, if I was you, I'll get the blanket list that you might get 30,000 records for like $50 with phone numbers and everything, right?
Okay.
And basically what you do this, it's like a ringless voicemail. You probably heard about it, right? Well,
Right.
the slide broadcast is kind of like a simplistic way to do that. Basically what you're gonna do, if I was you, I'll put a broadcast saying, hey, I saw your house. Actually, again, everybody says that. So if I was you, hey, I saw your, hey, my neighbor called me. There's an issue with your house, call me.
Yeah.
Like that, simple and to effect. Now, when they call you back, you're gonna put another number on the voicemail. So you're gonna be able to, you're gonna blast out with number 123, but in the actual voicemail, it's gonna say, hey, I saw your house, or somebody called me about your house. There's an issue. Call me back at 956-789 number. So if they call you to the 789 number, that means they heard the voicemail. If they call you to the 123 number, that means they just saw the voicemail that it was a missed call and they called you back. The reason why you only want to answer the ones that are calling you to the 789 number, that means they heard the voicemail. Now when they call you back and you pick up the call, it's gonna be basically they want you to answer, why is there an issue with my property?
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because since you don't have that much as far as time for that to be 100% in the business, that's what I would do. And as soon as they call that number that has a 789, you can just say, hey, sorry about that. I'm on another call. Yeah, this house it's your house, 123 Main Street, right? You'll text them back, but you're gonna be texting people that actually heard your voicemail. You know what I mean? And instead of being on the call all the time, again, you can probably text will take you what, 40 seconds to reply. Right. Is this your house on 123 Main Street? Remember, those people that are calling you back to the 789 number, they're calling you back because they heard the voicemail about an issue with their property. Now, this list that you're gonna get, I don't know if you already have like a bulk list as far as other list that you have, but if it's a list like this one that I'm telling you about, it's probably the low credit risk, low credit, high equity list itself. You know, there are people that maybe have issues with payment histories. That's why they're in the low credit risk.
Okay.
If you have a list, I don't know, because like me, I have lists from high equity to water shutoffs to vacant to USP vacants to co-violations to, I have a bunch of lists to affidavits. So I kind of niche. If I'm gonna send, let's say I have 1,000 lists, 1,000 data points of people that are vacant properties according to USPS, or vacant houses because I drove for dollars, or vacant houses or whatever. That's gonna be the issue of why when they call you back or text you back, hey, what do you mean you have an issue? Yeah, is this your house on 123 Main Street? Yeah, my partner drove by and I think his house got broken into on 345 Main Street, and I think yours is down the street again, and that's where you start the conversation. Why is it vacant? And are you interested in selling? Again, you can go back to my previous calls as far as how to break it down, because that way you can still market out to a lot of people, but you only answer the ones that actually heard the voicemail.
Yeah.
They're calling you back because of the voicemail. And if you know the type of list that it is, it's a vacant list. That means that's how you're gonna answer. Like that's how I tell my VA. That's how you're gonna answer that call. If it's a pre-foreclosure, you're gonna answer it like this because it's a pre-foreclosure. If it's a vacant, you're gonna answer it like this because it's a vacant. If it's a water shut off, you're gonna answer it like this because it's a water shut off. So how would you answer a pre-foreclosure? I created this website, rdbhomereliefprogram.com, that helps clients navigate the pre-foreclosures, coming out of forbearance, how to negotiate forbearance, how to negotiate loan modifications, and worst case scenario, if we can help him out, my partner's there to maybe give him a cash offer. So you see, I was able to handle that conversation. Hey, yeah, there's an issue because it looks like this property, we got a notification through our inbox that this property is gonna go to foreclosure. Have you applied to the updated forbearance programs that just got activated in September 29th? Like, what do you mean? Like, yeah. So then that's how you help them out as far as to be able to negotiate the forbearance, protect them, to keep them in their house. But if worst case scenario, that nothing works out, we can able to actually purchase a property from them, stop the foreclosure, and then we can make profit with that property. They can walk out with some money. That's going to be how you answer the pre-foreclosures when you text that to the pre-foreclosures. If you were to text to the water shut-offs, again, water shut-offs, that means people that the minimum bill, the lowest bill in a household is going to be the water, and the city shuts them off because they're not paying it. So if they're not paying the water, they're not paying anything else, because you got to live, you got to have water to take showers, right? So how would you answer? Hey, my neighbor called me about your house. There's an issue. Call me back at 956-789. And then when they call you back, how would you answer that call? Again, if you answer it live, or how would you text it back? Let's say you want to text it back because you're at work.
Okay.
He's like, what do you mean you have an issue? They call you, you don't answer. Yeah, hey, sorry, I'm on another house. Yeah, this is your house on 345 Main Street. Yes. Okay, perfect. You see what happened is you bring the story. My partner bought a house. That's how you gotta map it. There's a house on Orange Street across the street. So yeah, my partner bought a house on Orange Street. There's people breaking into that house because it's a really bad neighborhood. He bought that one because the person that was living there lost his job, and he started again missing his payments. And again, they cut the water off of his house. So you see, they cut the water. So you're relating why you're reaching out to them by not even telling them. Your partner bought that house from these people that had issues because they lost their job. Again, it went from bad to worse because they lost their job. The lights got cut off. The bill for the cable got cut off. The water got cut off. Bing. They're like, oh shit, yeah, that's me. So again, and we don't want any more break-ins. Again, have you had that issue? Maybe I think it was a black car, or I think a red car in that area. And then they say, oh, no, thank you for letting us know. Again, no, but we haven't had any issue. Okay, well, thank you for being so nice. Again, in that area, my partner's buying more properties in case you ever know maybe of a neighbor.
Yeah.
If you ever know of a neighbor, not even telling them,
right,
a neighbor. So you see how you relate, you're telling them what you want them to tell them, but you're not telling them directly. They're hearing you.
Yeah.
So that's the way you answer or you text what's it called? The water shut off. The vacant, the same way. My partner bought that house from this person that they were living in Houston, and this house was inherited, but it went vacant and people were breaking in, et cetera, being vacant.
Yeah. Okay, man. Thank you.
So that's what I would do. So you can still market a lot of people out, but only answer the ones that are actually at least motivated enough to hear a voicemail. Right. That's what I would do if I was you. That would help me as far as if I didn't have that much time, that will help me still market enough, but still only answer the ones that I need to answer.
Yeah. Gotcha. And what's a good size list for me? I mean, I heard you say 30,000.
No, well, well, let me ask you this. Have you gotten like the high equity,
I haven't pulled any lists. I try to hit 1,000 for sale by owners through the text or the Zillow scrape, but I haven't actually done like a list from PropStream yet. So I guess what I would do if I was you, again, get the PropStream. If you already have the service, get as many leads as you can. Try to go, the highly niche ones are going to be the pre-foreclosure list. I don't know if you can get probate leads from there. So pre-foreclosure, probates, what else? Vacants.
Those will be the ones that you want to target. That means people are not living there first for the vacants, or people are losing the house with the pre-foreclosures, or people got that property inherited, or they're gonna get that property inherited. Those are the ones that I will target first. Because remember, most people do this. They get 1,000 leads, they target it once and they forget about it.
Right.
No, you gotta be constant. Remember, those are highly niche leads. So if it's highly niche leads, you want to be targeting them and with that slide broadcast, let me show it to you.
Sly or slide?
Sly, like SLY.
Okay.
Let me pull it up. I've had it a long time ago. And I think for me, it was just the simplest one that you can do. Let me see. Slide broadcast. So here's the slide broadcast. Let me see. I don't remember it no more. Let me see real quick. Move so I can see the screen. So here's the complete running. So here's how it goes. All you got to do to do a new campaign, again, you log in here, slidebroadcast.com. You go right here, you whatever, you call it water shutoffs. Shut up. And then you put your caller ID, the one that you want them to call back if they don't listen to the voicemail. So let's say it's 210-123. But in the voicemail, you put another number. And then here you can either record via phone or you can upload a recording. If you want to upload a recording, you go to Bookaroo, the one that I showed you before, which is the Bookaroo website. Bookaroo website. It's simple, and you record. Hey, I think Mike down the street, call me about your house. There's an issue with it. Call me back, 210-555-789. Thanks. Simple. You download it, save and share it. You download it, and then you go right here, and then you upload it here.
Wow.
So you see, it's go ahead.
Okay.
Oh, that's the. So you see, it's
and
super
then,
simple. Go ahead.
Okay, and then if I'm
say that one more time. Say that one more time.
As far as the voicemail?
Yeah, the voicemail, yeah.
Hey, I think Mike down the street, I don't know if you know Mike or his brother, John, I think it was John or Mike, one of those two. They call me about your house. There's an issue with it. Call me back, 210-155-3342. Thanks. Remember, you're making a story. You're planning a story in their head. A Mike. Oh, and a Mike has a brother. His name is John. Well, one of those two guys. He called me about that. There's an issue with your house. Call me at. Remember, you don't give an address because you're gonna blast this voicemail to everybody. So you can't have any specific address. And when they call you back, how would you answer it? Hey, you call me. There's an issue with my house. Yeah. What happened is this. That's when you get the address and you map their house. Let's say 123 Main. Let's give you an example real quick. So then with this one, you just add it there. You put test, etc. You upload it. So whatever you upload it, and then you put here. You can either add a list that you have, or you can do enter phones manually. And you can enter as many as you want, or you can upload a list, set a campaign, send immediately. Perfect, submit it, and then you just wait for them to call you back.
And that's Skype broadcast.
It's live broadcast, yeah.
Sly.
It's live.
Have you used that, Ace?
What was that?
Have you used that one?
Yeah, I have so many campaigns. Let me see if I can. How many campaigns do I have?
How much is that per month?
I think no, it's not per month. It's per campaign. It's let me see. I'm trying to right here. Let me see. Hopefully, I don't show you mine. Billing, card set file, add credits. So here's a breakdown. For 100 messages, it's $100. For 400, for 500, it's $40. For 1,000, it's $60. I got this one last time, but again, you can start slow. And remember, there's other ones that are they're less expensive. But
why don't you have that on REI reply?
Yes, but this is what I started before with. Why? Because it's simple. Like I was telling, like I was telling him right now, this is the simplest way to get into market. Yes, you want to, again, down the road, you want to be able to do the less expensive ones. But right now, just to start and get out there, get your voice heard, do the simplest one. That you can just, like this one, I think if you buy the 400, I think you get in it for like 3 pennies. Let me see. So the 400 divided by 10,000. Yeah, 4 cents per what's it called? Per text. Now remember, if you have 100 dialing for dollars, it's only $60. You know what I mean? Because you only need one. Like you only need one deal to make sense. You know what I mean? So if you only need one deal, again, $60, buy it, 1,000, and then make sure you market it. And then the first voicemail, it's that one. Hey, the second one, hey, you didn't hear my voicemail. There's an issue with the property again. I think I spoke to John this weekend. Call me, and you can target that 100 list lead for vacants 10 times. So every week you can literally target for 10 weeks. They're gonna call you eventually. You know what I mean? So that's why I would like to do that one first, because it is the simplest, easiest way to get to market. The other ones, eventually, once you make a deal and then you have more of a structure, like Bong, he doesn't have that much time, because our reply, it's tedious. You still gotta, again, you gotta sit down, learn the system a little bit, and you can definitely, what's it called, schedule pre-recordings as far as scheduling. But this one's the easiest one.
Whoa. That's not right. It's not a little bit. That's a serious learning curve.
What was that? Which part?
For REI reply. That's a
Yeah.
serious learning curve.
Yeah,
I
and
don't care
like
what
Vaughn,
nobody say.
yeah, and like Vaughn, he doesn't have it, like, and he works 9 to 5. So
Me
I don't
too.
want him to have too many wheels turning at once. Just, you know what, go log into Slide Broadcast, boom, upload your list. 2, record your message. 3, put your number, record the voicemail, send, and just sit.
Dude, I like that. That sounds pretty good. I only have one question. What, like, because I hear so much online about, oh, you got to scrub your list because some people might be on do not call lists. What's your take on that? Do I really need to do that?
Okay, I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just telling you what I would do.
Okay.
Again, when I started doing this a long time ago, when I was, again, out of becoming a lender, I was like, okay, if I was broke, if I have no properties, if I owed everything, again, would me, the person now, sue that person that was me 3 or 4 years ago, that didn't have anything, that owed everything? I was like, oh, you're gonna sue? You know what? And remember, I always answer. Now I answer, oh, my boss hired me to do this. If you get upset at me, he said, well, I want to talk to your boss. Perfect. You know what? It's the same number. What we do is schedule him and we send him a voice, an email. What's the email? And then create an email. I buy houses McAllen, or I buy houses New York at gmail.com. He's like, what do you mean? That's how you can, yeah. Again, right now with technology, that's how he hired me. He hired me out of Craigslist. And he pays me through Cash App. Again, it's just simple. And remember, you trying to put them as many barriers between you and who the actual boss is. But again, you're gonna assume, or let's say you want to call as you being the boss. Okay, you want to assume it. Well, perfect. I think you're gonna have to pay probably $40K for my car that I still owe, an extra $90K for my house that I still owe. I probably have like $70K in credit card debt. Again, I wasn't a great student of financing when I was growing up. But yeah, after all that, you can definitely sue me, and I'll see you in court. They're not gonna sue you.
Right. Okay.
Because I read the what's it called? The attorney's gonna see, well, if I sue this person, is there a big bucket of money that I can get? If it says no, okay, then I gotta charge you up front for my fees.
Right.
So again, and it is, and that's how I would run it. Again, that's what I would do. Now, what I'm telling you what to do is just that's what I would do.
Okay.
But,
and then what do you have? Is there a certain time you'd recommend sending these out? Like first thing in the morning before I start work, or in the evening? Because I don't mind making calls, in the PM, but I like this tactic too, man. I just want to optimize it,
Yeah, I think again with live broadcast, you can schedule them to go in a certain hour as well. So I will schedule them. Remember, they say people in the morning are better because they haven't gotten frustrated with work. So maybe at 8:30, they say people before, after lunch, maybe like around maybe like 12:45, we can send them another batch. Now, people after work, they might have had a bad day at work, so you're gonna get the bad part of the stick after work. But again, everything works as long as you get it done. Again, and if I was you, schedule it at 9:30. I don't know how your 9 to 5 works. You're like, well, you know what? I have a slow time frame between my lunch hour. Perfect. Then send it at 10:30, 11:30, so they can be calling you back. Because remember, this live broadcast is gonna blast them. You said it's gonna blast all the. Let's say you schedule 100, it'll blast 100 within like 30 minutes. Okay. So you're gonna be receiving. Remember, if they call that other number, the first number that you put on the actual live broadcast, that one can be just a burner. Don't answer the call. I don't know. If I was you, I would definitely, since you have one phone, go to CallRail and pay the $30 a month for 10 numbers and have one just for the inbox of that number. Don't answer it. What I would do on that number when they call, set up a voicemail. Hey, you call me back. Yeah, there was an issue with the property, I think. Call me back at, and then you put the same number again. The other number, the one that you are gonna reply from. And then that can be another CallRail number. So that's what I would do for that. And you answer it like that, simple. Again, you don't make things complex. You just answer it like that, simple. And that's the way that I would run my business if I was you, until I get maybe a couple of deals. You know what I mean? And it's
thank you, man.
And on Saturday and Sunday, man, again, get 3 to 4 hours and just drive the area, because those are the ones, that data that you actually pick up when you're driving. I'm telling you, probably 80% of it is not going to be in PropStream. And remember, if you have 100 vacant houses, they're going to be vacant until somebody buys them. So you can literally market to that 100 vacant houses. Like I was telling you, if you buy the $60 plan, $60 RVMs, which is going to be 1,000 RVMs. If you have 100 leads, you're literally going to blast them for 10 weeks, once a week. And you change the voicemail every time. The same phone number on the voicemail, but you change the voicemail every time. Make it more personal, so they know that you're calling them personally. It's not the same voicemail all over.
Okay, and then do you mind if I get your take on my market? Because for this Zillow for sale by owners that I've been targeting areas like Tennessee, Missouri, Arkansas, stuff like that. Because in my mind, I feel like that's less saturated with people trying to do deals out there. Maybe not, and the price points are a little bit lower for what I'm trying to do, like lease options and straight cash deals. But out here in San Diego, I haven't really attempted doing anything. Am I overthinking it? Is it worth trying in my local market? Because I just feel like everybody and their mom's trying to do that out here,
Okay. What I would do, my first priority is to learn my market.
Okay.
Learn my market. Because remember, you're in San Diego, California. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. Remember, one deal can make you 70, 80K.
Okay.
In San Diego. That means you're off your work and you have 1 year to make another deal for 70, 80K. That's how I would think about it. So yes, if you have other markets, definitely do it. But remember, if it's hard to get a deal in San Diego, but if you do get one, you're gonna get a big chunk of money. I had a friend of mine in one of the masterminds that I was in. His first deal was 70K. Well, no, was 55K. First, I'm like, man, that took me like 3 deals to get a 55K. It took him one deal to get 55K because he was in California. Awesome. So you see, so remember, you only need one deal like in California to be able to change your whole shift. Because if you get 70K, like you're not gonna file taxes until next year for that 70K. That means you really have 1 year to replicate what you just did. Remember, and one of the things about the ShutUpMoney Club is that we're the way that differentiates us from everybody. Again, there's everybody that does it. Like I don't know if you know Scott Oots from California.
No.
Well, I was in his mastermind with Scott Oots and you know Max Maxwell.
Yeah.
Well, they had a mastermind a couple of years ago, and I was in their mastermind, and yeah, like California is competitive, but his average deal is like 100K. Shit, one deal. Imagine if I can get one deal. So you already know he's a buyer as well. So if we get a deal, we already have a buyer in lineup. If it makes sense, the deal's there, he'll buy it.
Yeah.
So again, all you got to do is do that. Remember, and the difference between the big players they're blasting, they're doing 70K, 80K in marketing, is that they're using the same tactics. Hey, we're local investors. We're trying to see if you're interested in selling your house. That's their tactic, because they can do this much marketing to get 2 deals, but 2 deals can make 200K. So it kind of offsets the 70K. But for us, I can't do 70K in marketing. I got to be able to minimize the marketing, but being able to change the way that I market, first of all, and the way that I talk to clients. So the ShutUpMoney, as far as the way we talk to clients, is a differentiation, because we don't talk to clients like everybody else. Hey, yeah, I'm a local investor. If you do that, you're literally putting yourself in the bucket, because if you're a little me with $100 per marketing per month, playing in the bucket of the 70K per month, I'm gonna get destroyed. I mean, because they're and that's only Scott. I think Scott, his marketing, he has a campaign that he pays 60K just for a year's worth of leads. Just that's one of them. That's the total list. But imagine he has that, and he has the mailers. You can play in their bucket, because you're gonna get destroyed. So the way that we do it, we are a little bit more gutsful. We have a different type of conversation with the client. We actually do the leg work as far as knocking at the house if it's vacant, knocking at the neighbor's house if it's vacant, put in a note, put in a for sale by owner, put in there's an issue with your property. All we want to do is have the conversation. And I know, again, California is highly litigious, but again, it's only a smart attorney will only take a lawsuit if he knows that he can squeeze money out of the defendant. If you have no money, he's not gonna take the lawsuit. And I don't think anybody else is gonna call you it's gonna spend money just for a call. Yeah. And remember, you always fall on the sword. I apologize, Mr. X, for calling you again. I don't know where these numbers are coming from. Again, I'm broke. I got fired from my previous job because I didn't get the vaccine. I went to Craigslist. This guy said that he was what's it called, doing offering jobs just to call from your house. Shit, I gotta feed my family of 3. Again, I gotta do what I gotta do. I apologize. You probably in my same position, you would do the same. Again, if I called you and you were in the do not call list, I'd apologize. Again, I'll make sure that that person that hired me knows this. But again, I appreciate it for being so honest and candid with me, and I wish you the best. Right. I mean, people are not gonna be assholes. People are not gonna be assholes. If 90% of the people, 95% are not gonna be assholes. Only the 5% are gonna be assholes. And if you answer them like that, they might not even tell you anything. They don't know who you are. Again, I always make up a name: Alex Gonzalez, Alex Rodriguez, etc. I'm not the boss. I'm just an employee. How'd you contact your boss? Through an email. What's the email? MikeBuysHouses@gmail.com. Yeah. What do you mean? What do you mean? That's how he contacts you? Yeah, that's how. Again, that's how he reached out to me through email, and again, he's been paying me, so I've been getting my money to feed my family. So you see, that's how. If you create that little what's it called, that story to the seller, then I'm gonna be an asshole with you. You know, okay, yeah, it's understandable. And again, that's courageous of you out there to actually still work just to feed your family. So again, so most people are not gonna be assholes. There's gonna be the rare ones, but if you explain to them like that, well, I can. What's your number? You got my number, ma'am. Again, I can get your info. Let me have your name, your address, your email address, and your full phone number or the best contact number, so I can email it to my friend, or email it to my guy, and then just get the emails. They can't track. If they go beyond the point and track an email and the IPs, again, I don't think clients are gonna do that. But again, it's always things that can happen. But that's what I would do. And for you, man, that's what I would do. Again, be the person that gets out there, doesn't drive for dollars, gets vacant houses and markets like this. And when they call you, you answer like that. Because you're only looking for one deal that can kind of take you away from your job and then give you a whole year to replicate it.
I like it, man.
Perfect, man. Again, remember one of the things like I told Gant, again, he's not here in the call. You got to do it though. I can tell you how to do it, but you got to literally, you got to basically be the person that actually jumps off the bridge into the water. Right. That's always been my metaphor. Again, the good thing about business is like, take it like a business is like you jumping into a pool. Once you jump into a pool, there's no going back. Once you jump, that's it. You're not gonna fly. You're not gonna get wings. You're gonna fly. You're gonna literally jump into the water. That's how in the mornings. That's how I jump into the pool. I know I can't go back. Because if I put my foot in there, oh, it's cold. But if I just jump, that's it. There's something stopping me. That gravity is gonna take me down, and jump into a pool. So yeah, just do it, man. Vaughn, again, do it and let me know how it works out.
Thank you, man. I will.
Definitely, brother. What's going on, guys? Mag, Vernon, Kyla.
Kyla.
There we go. Sorry, I'm not that great with names. How you been, man?
Good. I want to just say I love how you kind of got in depth with Vaughn about how you handle stuff, because I didn't even know about slide broadcast. I had to learn the whole REI reply. It is definitely hard. They have so many training videos, and it's super hard, man.
And it's good if you're 2-3 years into the business, because that kind of like, oh shit, I can put all my business in here. That's what I'm doing. I'm putting all my business into here. But it's not great when you're just starting. Again, if you only have if you only have this much energy, it's gonna take you about that much to learn about REI reply, and you're gonna have this much about actually marketing. So it's not good. Like I told you, gotta be able to have the energy to talk to clients instead of learning a product. But yeah,
yes,
REI reply is super complex. It's a great software, but it is complex. But yeah, slide broadcast, that's how I started a long time ago. That's how I started doing I think one of my deals was 17K was through a slide broadcast. They called me back on a slide broadcast phone as far as slide broadcast. I didn't even know the technique of switching phone numbers. So I was literally answering all the calls. Remember, you're gonna be called like crazy, but don't answer the phone. When you separate the return calls from the actual people that heard the voicemail, you only answer the ones that actually heard the voicemail and called the separate number, not the original number. That was my mistake. I still got a deal, but that was my mistake. I was getting tons of calls, like, oh shit, like crazy, like 70 calls at once, and I was only answering 1 or 2. But then I learned that technique of adding that separate number on the actual voicemail, so the people that actually replied to your call are actually the people that actually heard your voicemail.
Yeah, with the REI reply is very difficult to set up. Right now, I'm in the process of always had Podio. I always use that as a CRM, but I'm in the process of putting a texting platform in there, and also a calling platform. So everything that we do will go straight into Podio, to the contact and all that stuff. I got, the services that I'm going to use. They have the API. Link and all, link and all that stuff. And I'm getting ready to hire somebody off of Fiverr for like $80 to make sure the Zapier and the API and all that stuff works together.
Yeah.
And eventually I want to get a comping tool made for my VAs so they can comp the property while they're talking to the prospective seller.
Perfect, man. Perfect. The good thing about my area, my 2 VAs, mainly the one that does the calls, he knows I gotta be 10-20% above what's called above tax value. If I'm at 10-20% above tax value, it's a deal. And remember, always when I call back, if it's too high of a deal, as far as too high of a price number, the tax value, but like, no, he actually was looking at the house on the street, which is 200 square feet bigger. That's how I jumped down. Well, he told me this. Yeah, it was actually for the other neighbor. Again, Enrique, he just got hired. He's super nervous. He's a cool guy. Again, he has a family in Honduras that, again, I like to work with people because, again, I was probably one time that person that I was making mistakes, but again, somebody kept me in and taught me to become better instead of just firing me. So again, with Enrique, the same thing. I like to keep him here. Again, he makes mistakes, but he's a good guy. He's willing to learn, and he's doing it for his family.
Hey, I don't even think it's good to churn churn your VAs if they're willing to learn and you see them coming along slowly.
Yep.
You might as well keep them, man.
Yeah, you don't want to train for somebody else.
Hey, you're gonna switch up, get a new personality or whatever. No, you might as well keep him. Just let him learn at his pace. At least he's learning. And you don't have to retrain him on the stuff that you trained him on already. Exactly.
You don't want to, or having him go to another person.
Right. Hey, and I love to hire people who worked for big wholesaling outfits before, because don't believe it or not, I pay them, but they teach me how to use certain apps and stuff like that.
Yep. Because they're coming from a bigger company that had more marketing and research funds, and then you just piggybacking on that.
Absolutely.
So yeah, man, that's definitely, that's the best way to do it. And like I was telling you, starting from zero, the fastest way that you can get to market is the simplest way. Don't try to make it too complex, because, and that's one of the things that I see where people are trying to make it complex so you can, oh, I'm working. Well, you're not working. You're working on building a system. You're not working on actually talking to clients. And that's how I was sold on those, what's called the mentorships when I was fairly starting with what's called with the rich dad poor dads and all that BS. They were making me active as far as I was doing all this stuff, setting up this LLCs and business cards. But like I was telling you, if I had this much marketing, this much was going to systems, and like this much was going to marketing, systems, mentorships, et cetera, and that's why I wasn't successful. So yeah, man, yeah, definitely. Great talk. Again, let me know how that on the Podio integration works. I used to have Podio, now I have REI Reply. And again, I have all my websites through there. I just created this website. Let me show you guys. I was telling, who was I telling? Last week, I was telling one of the guys who was here, how I had a business cards, what's it called, created to drop off at the hospice and the veterans affair, what's it called, divisions where people go when they need to get veterans issues, the assisted living.
You're vicious.
So, but watch this. And I was telling the guys in the team, like, yeah, they say, I don't even know if you follow Ty Lopez. Well, I don't know who said this, but it says, good artists copy, great artists steal. Like you say, you want to stand on the shoulders of giants and learn from them, take everything they learn and then implement it as far as learning and grow from there. So I created this website. Watch this. You guys see this?
Oh God.
So it says, welcome to freemobilenotary.com, a free, accessible, convenient, dependable service in the RGV for veterans, senior citizens, and assisted living and hospice care patients. Call to schedule an appointment. It's free.
So what do you do with that?
So guess what? People that are, like, look at the breakdown. People that are in assisted living, they're elderly people, right?
Right.
Okay. Why would they need a notary?
Wow.
Why? Because they have a property somewhere. They have something that's tied to something of value. So if I'm there as something of value.
So how do you? So you got a notary that you pay?
No, I'm a notary public.
Oh man.
So all you do is once a week, drop off your business card in front of the desk. Hey, I'm not selling anything. Again, I had one of my sisters, one of my cousin's mom. She was paying $60 a month for notary public. Again, I'm a notary public, and I want to make sure that anybody that's in assisted living, hospice care, veterans, they don't pay for notary public. Here's my business card. Again, I'll come to you guys.
Gotcha.
So then I have my business card that has my name, my phone number. When
you
they
got
call
this
me,
website here?
Yeah, this website, my business card, my number. When you call my number, it says, welcome to RGV, pre-mobile notarypublic.com. This call will be monitored and recorded for quality assurance. And then they're calling me. I go there, I see. He's like, well, what are you guys doing? Perfect. What type of document? And then there's two ways I can negotiate that. I can definitely, what's it called? Offer my service there. I will actually do by properties, or what I can do is when you do the notary public, you get again, you get their IDs, make sure their ID matches, et cetera, et cetera. You can always get their phone number. And guess what? Now you call the person as another person. Hey, you have a house here? Hey, my area, this is what happened. You see? Now you're basically, you're capturing the pre-probates, you're capturing the power of attorneys, you're capturing the inheritance, you're capturing the wills, you're capturing the everything. And you're doing a good service. What's a notary public? Like, it costs me $20 to get a notary public from somebody else, since I can notarize my own documents. It's $20. That's per document, per stamp. So let's say they got to do 2 or 3, that's $40. If you're in assisted living, $40 can go a long way to stay in your pocket. So
that's killer. How many leads generate you?
I usually get like 2 or 3 deals from it. When I started it 3 or 4 years ago from Sean Flanagan. No, it wasn't Sean Flanagan. I learned this from Sean Flanagan. I learned from some other guy on YouTube. That my next website to create, it's going to be my RGV tax care.
Say that again.
For tax delinquent companies.
For
So tax delinquent.
oh, tax delinquent.
So tax delinquent companies, tax delinquent clients, again, what they do is they have a delinquent tax bill, right? And either they're gonna get a loan to pay it off or they're gonna lose it to the county. So what we're gonna be doing is that, you know what, we created this, again, hey, thank you for reaching out to taxdelinquentassistant.com. What we offer, again, we have a fund that pays towards tax delinquency. Call us to see if you qualify. The same way, you can just literally ship your business card to the person. They go to your website, they see it's a validated website, they see a phone number, they call a number. Thank you for calling our tax delinquent assistant fund. This call can be recorded. And
what do you have answer the phone? You answer the phone or you got?
I answer the phone. I answer the phone. Because remember, these are highly niche people.
Right.
Pre-probates are highly niche. The foreclosures are highly niche. The taxes are highly niche. So, and I got different numbers, and that's just why, this is why I love, and like now, like I was telling Kayla, sorry about that. Kayla, sorry, ma'am. How 3 or 4 years on the road, I have everything. Like now, I'm on ROI Reply. I have my websites there. I have my phone numbers there. I have my voice broadcast there. I have my text out there. I have my what's called my chats there. Again, I have everything there. My Podio was transferred from Podio to ROI Reply, and now I track my ROI replies through birth dates. I just search for birth dates. What's due on this birth date, and it has all the ones that I need to follow up for that date.
You did you ever get that bot stuff working on REI Reply?
Yes and no. Some of them I saw how they I have the bots on what's it called let me see. I know they did some upgrades, but I'm thinking right now they're barely trying to modify them. So the kind of, it's like I had got an ROI Reply when it first came to market like 3 or 4 years ago.
Right,
but it was super complex because again it was freshly in what's called into the space. So I got it for a couple of months, and then I had the free trial, so I got my money back. And now this time I stayed with it. So I'm saving on everything. Again, it's penny drops, actually less than a penny drop for the RBM, less than a penny drop for the text. Again, you get free hosting. I got 27 websites so far, 27 websites, I think. Free hosting, what's it called? What else? I can follow up on my Podio there. I can text from there. What's it called? I can add users to it. Like I was telling Jen, if you want to use, like if you want to integrate, like Mag is in my users as far as if he wants to. Again, he hasn't got in there. I don't think so. Calling you out, Mag. He can go in there and what's it called? Go in there and add your leads, do a follow-up and follow up there. Hey, follow up here, follow up here. I gotta do this, I gotta do this, I gotta do this. You can literally, when you're on the call, record the Vukuru call and then just add it there onto the notes and do a follow-up, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So again, that's why I love ROI Reply now, because again, I have time to take 3 or 4 hours a day to learn it. Again, the learning curve was at the beginning was a lot of time. Like this, it was a lot of, where is this? Like this. And then eventually I was able to learn it. But yeah, again, I know, and remember all these leads, guys, they're free. They're free. Notary, how to become a notary? It's gonna take you probably $100. You submit the application, they run your background, you pay the $100, I think 150, 115. You pay the bond, and now you're a notary public. And you can do it as a high hustle. I look at that, you know what, I can charge and become part of the bucket of notary publics in my area, or I can do it for free and differentiate myself from them. Who are they gonna call? Me. And in the website that you saw, it says, yeah, notary publics, their backgrounds gets checked, it's bonded, et cetera, and it's free for veterans, free for hospice care patients, for senior citizens, for assisted living clients.
Do you know when you would have a ride to leave today?
So that's how I was able to learn how to do that, and it's a free service. So the highly niche of learning your market area, as far as learning your market, all these the pre-probates I get in for free, the power of attorneys I get in for free, the affidavit of heirship I get in for free, the lint notices I get it for free. Again, all this data is free, and this is highly niche data. Remember, we fall into a trap that I need to have tons of data to make deals, and you don't. You just need to have the right data and reach out to them until you get them on the phone, and then you talk. And that's where the guts comes in, being able to talk the right way. Because I don't want to be part of the pack that everybody does the same thing. I can't do the same thing because I gotta be the nail that sticks out. And then once the deal comes in, again, you can either do a wholesale assignment if it makes sense. You can either wrap it, keep it as a sub-2 if it makes sense, and in order to finance it out. If it's vacant, if it's a vacant house, again, you can always rent it out, block the foreclosure, and then cash cow it until it makes sense. There's multiple ways you can do it. You can keep it as a, like I keep the pretty ones, the ones that are the sub-2s are clean I keep it into my portfolio. And my average has been like 7 a year. I want to make 10 a year, 10 new deals a year. And then you learn from how to do everything else as far as multifamily ones, etc. Go ahead.
For the sub-2s, how does the conversation go?
The same way. Well, ma'am, based on what you're telling me, I have 2 sub-2s that I'm working on right now. I can't really do anything. The best thing you can do that I can do for you is basically take over the payments, but I can't make any money. I cannot pay you any money. I wish I could. You can always list it. Again, that'll be the best thing for you because you probably get more money from it. But make sure that your agent that sees the property tells you what you're going to be as far as looking at as far as repairs. Because again, do you know anybody that has 150K cash? You say no. They mostly have banks. They have good credit, so the bank's going to require what's called an inspection. So your agent has to be a smart agent based on their expertise to tell you, you know what, based on your walkthrough and the base of the walkthroughs that I closed before, this 20 things need to be repaired. Do you have that much money to repair them? Because if you don't want to go through the hassle of listing it, getting walkthroughs, getting a contract, and then doing an inspection, and then you don't have money to fix the inspection. And even though you put as is on the sale, the bank doesn't care. The bank will not finance it until those repairs are fixed. And usually, an inspector is a person that needs to find things to keep his job. If he passes all inspections, he's not gonna keep his job. He needs to find some things. So usually, an inspector will have like 50, 60 things per house, and only like 10 of them will need to get fixed. Deadbolts, burglar bars, construction. Like if I have stairs and they're not covered and they're just wood, that doesn't pass inspection. It's considered a construction. So those little things you gotta have the conversation with your agent. And definitely, I have a good agent that can talk to you and give you this information. But based on what you're telling me, I don't think that's your best bet because you say you want to move for fast, you want to sell it fast. You don't have money for repairs. Again, am I more or less hitting the nail on the target, or am I off? And you put it back on them. Remember, you're pushing them to list it, but you're telling them what they're going to be looking at. And then you ask them, well, am I more or less on target with what I'm telling you, or am I way off? Again, sometimes my wife tells me I'm way off. And they would say, no, you know what? You're pretty much on target. Well, how should we proceed? What should we do next? I said, well, it sounds like, well, perfect. And then when you do that, you can do 2 things. You can hire a title company to do what's called a title commitment. They have to do it for free, but you don't want to burn your bridges. You don't want to have too many title commitments out there without closing on them. You can always hire somebody from Fiverr to do a title investigation. Again, I know probably 80% of what title companies do. That extra 20% is what they paid for. So I know more or less how to see who owns the house, who's been the previous owner of the house, what type of transfer was it? Was it a quick claim? Was it just a claim that there was no title investigation done? And I tell them to the client, like I tell them, you know what? Most people think that they can just transfer properties just with a paper. Like you can't. You got to be able to. If I'm the owner of the property, they got to investigate all my history, make sure that I don't owe anything. And if I don't owe anything on other companies, not on the house, but on anything else, if I don't know anything, I'm clear, then I can transfer it. And then that property is clean. There's no attachments to it. But if you don't do that, and I do owe things and you transfer it, those things are going to be through you still. They're still going to be attached to the property. So you see, those little things are the ones that you need to, that's why you got to master your area and do the title search the right way. Because if it wasn't done the right way, that owner that transferred it to you, you still have to have him in the title. You still have to do a title investigation on him. to make sure there was some deals. Because if the debt was added to his history while he owned the property, he has to pay for that. There's no way you can go around it. So again, mastering your market, knowing how the market works in your area, how deeds are recorded, how liens are recorded, how liens are released, how deeds are released, how transfers happen from one person to the other person, what's a quick claim, etc. Again, because quick claims in Texas, they don't work. You can quick claim a deed, but you still are attached to the previous liens. You literally have to do a warranty deed transfer to transfer it to another person. So yeah, that's how the wrap will work. Yeah, if they say great, perfect. Well, let me have this. And usually, once you get it on the okay with the seller, you take title, because there's a title and there's a mortgage loan. You take title, you don't record it. You take power of attorneys on your behalf. You take letter of authorization for your behalf. What else? You can do a land trust. Put it in a land trust. Put the land trust and the trustee's deed to land trust. You get them both created and notarized at the same date. First the land trust, then the trustee deeds of the land trust, and then you change the beneficiary interest from the beneficiary of the trustees of the trust to yourself. So it gets complex. It's not really that complex. I'm just babbling, but it's not that complex. It's like 6 or 7 documents. They're easy to do.
Okay.
Once you already have the hardest thing, Mac, is to get the client to say yes. If you get the client to say yes, they're willing to do anything, then you're golden. You're golden.
Right.
All right. And if the house is gonna be, if it's on pre-foreclosure, get an attorney, block the foreclosure. Right now, this other website that I created, let's see if I can show it to you.
If the house is pre-foreclosure, you cash cow.
You can cash cow it, or you can, right now, what happened is, again, this is why you gotta have your ear to the ground to see what's happening. So forbearance ended in what's it called? Oh, September the 30th, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that means anybody else that was in forbearance, they either gotta go there and get a modification, or they got to pay, or they're gonna go to auction. Well, in September, so this is the website I created. You see? Simple. Right? But it says here. That's why you got to be able to. I follow some attorneys on YouTube, and they on 9/29, VA announced new guidelines for forbearance. So if you never applied for forbearance ever, you qualify now. If you were in forbearance and it ended in September, you can ask for another 6 months, and then after that, another 6 months. The same thing for FHA-backed loans. If you never asked for forbearance before, you can ask for forbearance. It has to be approved if you're living in the property. If you had forbearance and it ended and you want more time, you can reapply for it and it has to get approved. And here are the actual documents. You see, this is one document and there's another document. As far as it says where you had, like this one, if you go. This is for I think this is the VA. U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development. So this is the letter. All FHA approved mortgages subject extension of COVID forbearance and COVID humanity purpose. So basically it's effective to all FHA backed loans. And if what's called the pandemic is still active, well, we're still in a pandemic, it's still considered an emergency, then they have to get approved. So literally this is like a forever forbearance. I don't think this administration is gonna gotta let go of the power of having an emergency. So literally this person that lives in FHA backed loans can live for free for 3 or 4 years.
That's crazy, dude. This is crazy, man.
But you see, you gotta know this because
this pandemic is never gonna end.
no, it probably won't. Again, it's a lot of power. It's a power grab. But again, it is what it is. And that's why it's a great thing to be an entrepreneur is that you literally know how to the punches. If you just one trick pony, you're gonna be the pony that gets sacrificed, that gets sold to another country to get eaten. You gotta be the pony that knows how to walk, jump, dance, etc. So it's hard, again, and this is why I told Bong, you got to be able to learn, be the master. If somebody wants to know about something in your market, you probably have, out of 10 questions, you probably have 9 answers. One answer you might not have, but I can get it to you. You got to be a master of your area. You gotta master your location. You gotta master your markets. You gotta master how you get free leads, highly motivated leads. Again, affidavits, pre-probates, power of attorneys, wills, divorces, quick claim deeds, abstract of judgments. All that stuff is free, and probably like out of 10 counties, probably like 7 or 8 have all this data for free. And if you don't have the money, all you need is time. So if you can go, if you work 9 to 5, get out of 5, spend time to your family till 8, eat, take a shower, and then from 10 to 2, learn.
Divorces are the only leads that are hard to find.
Not when in my area, again, divorce decrees are recorded in my area, but you can also find out where lawsuits are recorded. If you want to file a lawsuit, ask Mr. X, go to the local county or your local municipality. If I want to file a lawsuit, what do I do? Oh, you do file, okay. Now, if I do file it, if I want to check on it, what is there a website I can check my status on my lawsuit? Boom, they have to give you a website. Boom, there's a website, and then you go there and then you reverse engineer it. Who's recording? How do I search by name? By like in my area, you search by name. Watch, let me show it to you. Let's talking more doing, right? So in my area, oh, it's already, man, the hour went by real quick. You see here, civil search. All right. Oh, come on, website, it's loading still. So this is where all civil, family, and probate cases they get recorded, right? So you get from a civil suit, which is going to be a bang against a person, or et cetera, et cetera. What's it called? A family case where there's going to be a what's called a guardianship can get recorded.
Yeah.
And again, what you do, let's say RGV top attorney.
I got that. I think the missing part for me is once, when you go check, the lawsuit and everything, like, how do I find, I have there the case number that you can put or the name, like, so that's the only thing that I have access to. So I need to know either the name of the person or the case number to kind of check. But even so, they block it because I try to check, my cousin's divorce, and it didn't work. And then I called them. They were like, "Oh no, those cases you need to ask permission for."
Okay, then that avenue for you is dead. Then you look for another avenue. Maybe not a divorce. Maybe what's it called? Maybe a will, a power of attorney, like a lawsuit. Like here,
yeah, those I have. Yeah,
you see attorneys here. Who is this? Gonzalez. Let's do this one. This is an attorney in my area. You search it.
Oh, you searching for the attorney name?
You can search by attorney name. Like in my area, you can search by attorney name. You can search by what's it called, attorney name, last name of the person. Yeah. But you see, these are all and you look here, what type of contract, other civil cases again, and most of them you see when was it filed? A long time ago. You can search by the recent ones. But then, and while you do it like this, when I'm a little bit crazy, you just go and read. You go right here, application for writ. What is that? And then you look at it. Some are blocked, some are not. And then you go right here. Let me see. You can't see it. Let me stop share.
Was there like a course that you took from anybody to check those things, or you just learned?
Yeah, this is just a compilation of everything that I learned. You see here the case? Yeah. Application for writ. Like, what is that? Okay, application for writ. And then you Google it. What's writ of habeas corpuses? And then you see what it is. And then you read. Now comes Julio Jose Luis Rivera, defendant was arrested on November, et cetera, for evading arrest, theft of property, evading. You see? No, okay, this is probably habeas corpus is probably like something that I don't want to deal with as far as it's probably like criminal stuff. So again, you gotta learn how to do that. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
So again,
Perfect.
it's just a matter of let me answer this call real quick. Let me see what this is. You call me 4 times.
It's a deal. Close the shit now.
They didn't answer. Now they didn't answer. But yeah, man. Guys, that's the way. Again, this is my website. How it looks on the phone. Let's see.
Looks
Pretty
good.
clean,
Looks
huh?
good. Yeah, pretty cool.
And then if you wanna, let's talk, and it pops up the number in the bottom. And again, that's how, again, learning your area, your market, and doing things for free that you don't have to pay for. They might take a little bit of legwork to learn, but once you learn them, again, you can just excel them because they're free. Again, that's key. And knowing that what differentiates others from what we do in our team is that the way we conversate. That's the only differentiator, is the way we conversate. Because again, we don't want to play in the same team where everybody does the same thing. Because those top players, they have more resources than us. So we got to be able to get the leads and then have a different conversation.
So
Have a
look here.
pattern. Go ahead.
Look here. You got the free notary website, the tax delinquent website, and then you got the forbearance website. Is that correct?
Yep. And plus 20 plus 22 We Buy House websites.
Right. But those 3 right there, that's some killer stuff right there.
Yep.
That's some killer stuff right there.
Yeah, I agree. For real.
And then again, if you look at it, it's not that hard to do. It's just a matter of knowing what to do and just literally sitting down.
Right.
And again, if you guys want, guys, again, I can literally mimic the website, just get a host your name and do the same thing. Like, you know what? How can I do it like Ace? Okay.
Right.
Let me get a stamp for Notary Public, $100. Let me get the business cards. Let me get this and just get the right reply or get numbers that you can get. Switch the numbers and do the same thing. Again, you can do this, replicate this everywhere. But again, these are the ways that I've learned how to do it for free and get highly motivated contact numbers of people, but not at the cost of other big guys. But yeah, remember, it's all good and gravy and everything, but you got to be able to actually put it to business, put it into implementing it and doing it. But yeah, guys, go ahead.
You didn't get any leads from those sites yet, right? Right, Ace?
I've gotten deals from all 3 of them, not through the websites yet, because again, I just created the websites because I just got a reply. But the concept I had done it before, as far as reaching out to clients, as I told you guys like 4 months ago, not as someone that wants to buy your property for the foreclosure, but somebody that wants to help you navigate the foreclosure, the forbearance. And then eventually when it doesn't work out, then you get to what's called ask, maybe my boss may be able to purchase it. But now that I have all the little legs working in the same place, now I literally show you the game plan for the forbearance, for the tax, for the power of attorney, as far as for the pre-notary stamps. And yeah, my next step for the free notaries, for the RGB and everything else, I'm gonna get post office numbers, and I'm gonna get 3 different, what's it called, GMB maps. GMBs are free. Google My Business are free. I have 3 for my We Buy House location. Now I'm gonna get 3 for my RGV, what's it called, for my foreclosures, for my pre-notaries, and for my tax care. And that's gonna help me rank in SEO. And now I'm gonna reverse engineer it. I already have the website, I already have the phone number, I'm at a GMB, and then I'm gonna create a YouTube video, YouTube channel for the tax care, for the forbearance, and for the Notary Public.
Do you have a LLC for like the notary
Nah, the notary is, it's again, once you get it, you get approved. Again, you're
Mhm.
bonded. So again, just make sure you don't do nothing unethical. Like you ask for an ID, and it says there, like in the actual website, it says what can be notarized, what are the requirements, what type of IDs do we take, what's my background as far as how my background is being checked, and I'm bonded. Yeah, if in case I have any issue, if that bond protects you as the as a signer for any, if I mess up or I try. I don't know if you saw the movie Pain and Gain with Wahlberg and The Rock. How that notary public, he got arrested for doing bad stuff. But yeah, guys, any other questions before? Go ahead.
Yeah, but just that that website stuff right there, that's free game right there. That's devastating, man.
Definitely,
Yeah,
man,
that's
guys.
awesome.
Definitely,
Hey.
again, do it. Again, taking down, re-see this video and do it in your area again. That's the best
You
way
said-
that, go ahead.
Sorry, Ace, I was gonna say that you do all your websites through the REI reply software.
Yes. I buy GoDaddy domain names and then I just do it through the,
Okay.
let me see,
All
let me
right.
show you. Look how many websites I have on my, I have tons of websites. I love the ones that are like free hosting shit. And it's just a matter of learning how to do it. And my websites are super
Hey.
simple. They're one-page website.
But what happened with the marketing guy that you were looking for? You decided to do yourself then?
I haven't
see
run
that you're
into
doing-
anybody again. Again, it's not meant for me yet, as far as to get somebody that's gonna be managing my cold caller and managing my data scraper guy lady. Not yet, but eventually it'll come. Eventually it'll come, and then once it's here, I'll capitalize. Let me show you my.
I think I'm talking about the marketing guy that you hired, remember, and then it didn't work out. He didn't get you leads and shit.
Which marketing?
I
Oh,
thought you're gonna find
which-
somebody else.
You talking about the SEO?
The guy that you send the PayPal and yeah, the SEO, I think. Yeah.
Oh, I got my money back. Yeah, for that one.
But you didn't get somebody else?
No, I started doing it myself. I started doing the GMV. I put the money into the GMV. I put the money into creating GMV without a letter for the approval. Let me show you more websites.
Yeah, because I see
Look.
that you're doing everything yourself.
You see?
That's what I thought.
These are all my websites. Again, if you look at them, right, they're pretty. Let me see.
How long would you say that it takes you to make a website?
To make it the first time, it's gonna probably take you like 2 hours to make it like look like this, but to replicate it, 20 minutes. So
And
see?
does it provide like the pictures, or are you going to like something
No.
like Canva and grabbing?
So no, remember, this is part of the background of learning SEO. So basically, SEO data, it gets targeted by when the picture was taken. So what I do, let's say I want a picture of Alamo, Texas, per se, right? I go to Google, I search Alamo, Texas.com, Alamo, Texas, and then I go to images. So if Google's already ranking those pictures for Alamo, Texas keyword, then I just save the image, and then I'm pulling it from Google, and then I'm putting it into my website. So when somebody searches Alamo, Texas, that image that's in my website is gonna show up.
You're very smart. Thank you.
This website, this picture was taken from that by doing that search. The same thing with this picture. The same thing. This is I put Alamo, Texas houses, and this is a picture of Alamo, Texas house. This is a bank in Alamo, Texas. When you search, this is another house in Alamo, Texas. Again, I copied this. You see this part? This is from We Buy Houses, We Buy Ugly Houses. I stole the way they broke down their what's it called? They list this because you see Alamo, Texas, and it has a zip code. So that's another SEO point that Google sees my websites as. This is my GMB. This is one of my GMBs. This is my other GMB for Google. There's a map from Alamo, Texas. So I'm literally hitting, when somebody targets says We Buy Houses, Alamo, Texas, it's gonna see the keywords we buy, and then houses, and then Alamo, Texas. So all those images that I showed you are tied to Alamo, Texas.
Yes.
So
It literally takes you
is-
probably like an hour or two to do the first website, but to replicate it. Now you buy another domain, and now you search. Okay, I need one picture from let's say San Antonio, Texas, and then another picture from San Antonio, Texas. It looks like this, and then another picture of a San Antonio, Texas house. It looks like this, and then another picture of a San Antonio house. It looks like this. And I need a bank from San Antonio, Texas. So when people go into my website, they relate. Oh yeah, that's true. That is a website that is a bank from Alamo, Texas. That is a house.
So
that looks like, go ahead.
Is that how the ranking works? Like from
Yes,
Google?
SEO.
So
Yeah.
So basically, so let's say if we put like sell my house, Alabama, Texas, is that your website is gonna be up in the top?
Yeah, it'll start ranking. Remember, and now my YouTube channel has all those websites listed in the metadata, in the what's called. I got that metadata because Facebook has changed their name. And what's called in the description.
Yeah.
So it has website this, website this, website this. So I have all those websites in my YouTube channel. So YouTube and Google are the top search engines. So again, I'm trying to tie everything. Again, I've taken courses for SEO, and that's kind of how I can simplify it. Get a GMV, get images from that area that you're trying to do, get the right SEO. If you want to get copy, just as far as copy being how the website is broken down, Google your area. Let's say you want to see we buy houses, Houston, Texas, and whatever comes out first that is not an ad, that is actually an SEO ranked website, you go in there and you literally break down. Okay, can I steal the way they're doing the breakdown? Great. Can I mimic it? GMV is Google My Business, B as in boy, Google My Business. So Google My Business is when there's a business in that area that has a business, you want to create a Google My Business, what's called link that shows you that you're in that area. And just go to put GMB. What is GMB on Google, on YouTube, and it'll show you more or less how to do it. And it's free, but there's ways you can do it without having to have an address in that location. That's what I paid $100 per for the guy to do it, because I wasn't in that area that I was. But there's ways that you can get an approved GMB. That means it's gonna be shown to the public without having to have an address. It gets complex on how to get it done, how to get it approved. But yeah, that's how I was able to get that GMB, and I have 3 GMBs. I need 17 more GMBs. Now that's for my We Buy Houses business, and now I need another 3 GMBs and 3 GMBs and 3 more locations for my free notary, for my RGV, for Barron's Care, and for my tax care. So it's just a matter of just learning how. First, you do one project, and then you just, okay, let me copy this project for this type of business. Let me copy this project for this type of business.
That is high level stuff, bro. Thank you.
And I'm trying to make it as simpler as, that's how I like to explain it, to the simplest way as possible and the fastest way to market. Yeah, it's under, let me see. If you have Justin, just look for me under Arturo Cervantes there. That's my Facebook. All right, guys. Anything else, just let me know. And not, again, let's have a great Saturday and a Sunday. Successful. Remember, if you got like 10 things from this video, do one thing and actually do it, implement it. That's my puppy going crazy. And then let's talk next week. You want to say hi to the camera, Ante? Come on, you dude.
Hey, what's up?
Come on, you dude. Right here. Deru.
You even getting puppy points.
All right, guys. Have a good day.
All right,
Enjoy your
guys.
weekend.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, guys.